Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Capril. Hey, on the subject of home equity, I just did a video on that, but something that came up recently, someone had asked me was, with all the increasing value that we're seeing in our homes, do we need to go out and buy more homeowners insurance to cover that increased value? And the answer is both yes and no. So it all depends on the type of policy that you have. I actually began my career in the property and casualty world, specifically home insurance. And there is a clause that is much more uniform today, although I don't think it's required by law, called replacement cost extension. And what replacement cost extension means is that if your house is burned to the ground, and let's just say hypothetically you were insuring it for $400,000, but it was going to cost $600,000 to rebuild it. Replacement cost extension guarantees you full coverage. You'll have the $600,000, so you don't have to worry about it. The onus on making sure that the house is insured to value rests with the insurance company, not with you. However, if you don't have that, you could be out of luck. Because when you look at the price of lumber today, it's quite possible that it could cost as much, if not more, to rebuild your house than what is the market value of that house. Conceivably possible. So it's very important you understand your homeowner's insurance. And this is why you should talk to your agent. If the agent says, and I've seen this where they say, well, yeah, it'll cover the value of your home up, but it'll go above the value, but only by, say, 25%. So if it's $500,000, or let's say $400,000 house, yes, if it costs more to rebuild it, we will do it, but it will only go to 5. That's not as good as a policy that says doesn't matter what it costs. Your $400,000 home, if it takes $1 million to replace it, we're going to replace it. That's really what you want to be looking at. So while I don't discourage, but I don't say encourage people to read their insurance policies all the time, you should understand what you have. You don't want to wait until there's a claim and find out later that you were not fully insured. So pick up the phone, call the person who sold you that policy and said, hey, I see the home is insured presently for X. Again, let's just say it's $400,000. But all the homes in the neighborhood right now are going for more than that. Are you still, does my policy provide coverage if it costs more than the $400,000 to rebuild it? And he should have a very clear yes or no answer. If it doesn't, that is a coverage you want to get. And you may not be able to get it with that carrier. You may have to go to a different carrier. All right. So if you have any questions on that, give me a call. Normally, it's not an issue. Also, keep this in mind, too. The sale of your home includes the property. So if the land value is a big part of that cost, well, then the home doesn't necessarily have to be insured for what the total property value would be. Where I live, we have very small lots. So the land value is, there's some, but it's not nearly what the value is of the house. But there are others. There's the other markets. There's places with lots of acreage where the opposite is true. The land actually costs more than the house. So keep that in mind. Just make sure you're asking these what-if questions with your homeowner's insurance agent so that you're not caught off guard. All right. If you have any questions on that, feel free to reach out. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.